I've seen a lot of people talking about Mortal Kombat 11 and it usually goes like this. The cosmetic system is bad, but the core gameplay is fun. Unlocking all the items is a chore, but the fighting mechanics are better than they've ever been. Well, they're wrong. That's right, every one of them is wrong. Mortal Kombat 11 is a rage-inducing mess.
Fucking thing sucks!
It's like Mortal Kombat 10, but everything is worse. So many design decisions are completely baffling, from major stuff to tiny things that you would think would be insignificant, but soon start backing up like a constipated moose that is about to explode with diarrhea. Like the way they announce the winner of the match. It says fatality, and then the character who won.
Fatality. Cassie Cage wins.
Surely it should be who won first, and then how they won. You know, like every other Mortal Kombat game that ever existed. I know that might seem like a nitpick, but this kind of stuff is littered throughout every facet of the game. The game's been out for a little while now, and they have made a few small improvements, but that's like when you're at school and someone throws up, and the caretaker just sprinkles some sawdust over the top. Sure, the graphics look amazing, and the animations are mostly good. Some of the animations are quite bad though. Look at those soulless eyes staring into the void. And some of the fight animations don't match what is actually happening. He might look like he's got his foot frozen and is struggling to do anything, but he's still blocking. If I try to hit him, see, blocking. It's just the animation isn't showing it. Having your foot frozen is about as effective as standing in dog shit. This is the most imbalanced fighting game I've ever played. The character power level seems to be all over the place. It's like the designers made all these characters and rather than rigorously testing them against each other, they just threw them all up in the air and went, oh well, that'll do. Yes, I know a good player can win with a bad character, but that's also true of the opposite. You want all the characters to be as close to the same power level as possible, so then it just comes down to player skill. Let's quickly go over the basics first in case you're not familiar with fighting games. Every attack hits on a different level, low, mid, high and overhead. This dictates how to block or avoid the attacks. So if it's a low attack, you have to crouch while blocking. If you stand, you'll still get hit, even if you block. The mid attack can be blocked either crouching or standing. A high attack can be blocked when standing, but if you crouch, it completely goes over your head. An overhead attack must be blocked when standing. If you block when crouching, it'll still get you. What you want to do is mix up these attacks to make it as hard as possible for your opponent to block correctly. So you could go with an overhead and then a low. That means they're forced to stand and block and then immediately crouch and block the next attack. Or if they've learnt to block that correctly, you could throw out 2 overheads in a row. They block the first move and when they're crouching to defend against the low attack, BAM! This mix-up is a great way to keep your opponent guessing and break through their defences. With all that in mind, the developers said they wanted to move away from this overhead low mix-up they had in previous games. Now most of the characters don't have many overhead or low moves. That's fine. It's an interesting design philosophy, but the problem is they gave a select few characters lots of overhead low mix-up attacks, so these characters naturally become more powerful because they have a larger tool set to pull from. What, did they just forget they wanted to move away from that? What were they thinking?
We kind of forgot about
our design philosophy.
But even past that, you've got characters that have nearly exclusively high attacks as well as almost no overheads, like Shao Kahn. So if you ever find yourself fighting against Shao Kahn, you've got no reason not to spend the entire game just ducking under his attacks. Just squat down on the floor like you're taking a big dump and he'll never get you. Large portions of the character's movesets are basically useless. They've made all these combo strings, but you can pretty much disregard half of them. Just look at all this crap. Why did they put all this effort into making this stuff if they're not going to have a specific use for each one? Let's take Gukun from Street Fighter. Each of his moves has a specific purpose. Let's go over his standing punches as an example. Light punch is a quick poke, close medium punch an integral combo move, far medium punch is a good combo move, not as good as close medium punch but it has a longer range. Close heavy punch for the best damage combos, far heavy punch is a great anti-air with a long range and excellent hitbox. In Mortal Kombat 11 they've built loads of combo strings that are made redundant by the character's other moves. Why would you use one move when another move is objectively better in every way? It's like they've just thrown shit at the wall to see what sticks. Another step down from MKX is the fatal blows. In Mortal Kombat 10 you had this meter bar. You can build this meter by taking damage, hitting the opponent and using special moves. Once one of the 3 bars are full, you can use it to change the properties of a special move and improve it in some way, by either doing more damage or gaining armor or something. It depends on the move. If you fill all 3 bars, you can use them to perform an X-ray, which is a super high damage move. This creates a situation where you can use 1 bar here and there to enhance your special moves, or you can limit yourself and save that bar for a lot of damage with an X-ray. But if you miss with your X-ray or it's blocked, you've wasted all your meter bars and got nothing out of it. It creates an element of thought and strategy to the game, and it has an aspect of risk and reward. But that's not the same with the fatal blows in Mortal Kombat 11. And why do they call it X-ray in MKX and fatal blow in MK11? It's the same damn thing, just keep it consistent. Fatal blows? This game blows.
That is one big pile of shit.
In Mortal Kombat 11 they sever the connection between building the meter bars and the fatal blow. The meter bars just regenerate over time, so you don't have to think about managing them as you fight. And everyone gets a fatal blow whenever they're below 30% health. If you miss, you can just wait a few seconds and try again. You don't lose anything like you did when you lost your energy bars in MKX. And when you use your fatal blow, it gains armor, which means even if the enemy hits you, it won't stop the attack. You can just randomly throw it out with no thought at all. It's too easy to use and has almost no downsides, completely gutting any depth the game had. There's no risk for a lot of reward. It's so dumb. Yeah, just throw out that fatal blow. More like fecal blows chunks out your ass. They made it so you can customize your character's movesets, which is an interesting feature that I was excited about before release. Each character has a bunch of special moves and you can choose around 2 or 3 for your character. This allows you to mix and match moves to best suit a certain strategy or playstyle, except you can't actually use this in the ranked game mode. If you want to play in ranked, you have to use one of the preset tournament variations, of which there are only 2 per character. That's a step down from Mortal Kombat 10's 3 variations per character. The reason they gave for not allowing custom variations in ranked and tournament play is because it would be too hard to balance and it would be too difficult for players to learn how to counter each move. So they're basically admitting that their game is unbalanced, and rather than trying to fix it, they're not going to even try. So you can either play the unranked and unbalanced mode, or in ranked where you will be very limited. What a bunch of shit. Not to mention there is no way for a player to see what moves the opponent has selected. You just get surprised in the middle of a match when they throw something out. If they were worried so many moves would be too difficult to learn how to counter, why not allow the players to see what movesets their opponents have? Almost every aspect of this game is needlessly complicated, from the 7 types of in-game currency, the millions of augments that are basically useless, the endless number of stupid equipable items you can use to make fighting the computer easier. I mean, what is all this shit? And you can't even use them if you play on a fight stick. If you unlock something, you don't get a nice little icon to show what's new and what's old, so you have to go searching through all of this crap and hope you find what you're looking for. It used to be if you unlocked some concept art, say you unlocked piece 7 and 9, you'd have to scroll past 1 through 6 of black screens just to get to number 7. They recently made it so all of the unlocked art is at the front. About time. At the rate of these minor improvements, the game should be pretty good in another 5,000 years, and some of these art pieces are just screenshots. And look at this, I've seen 3-year-olds draw better than this. Can you imagine you've been playing the game for a few hours now, you've built up enough coins to go into the crypt, you carefully choose a chest to open even though it doesn't matter because they're all random, and you unlock some concept art. Then you have to leave the crypt and open your collection, go to the concept art section, try to remember what it was you unlocked because it's not labelled as a new item, and then you get this shit. What the fuck? You can unlock thousands of augments, but they are character specific. So you've just unlocked 25 augments, but none of them are for the characters you play. Fan-fucking-tastic. To unlock that slot for the augment, you have to equip that cosmetic item and play a bunch of games to earn experience. Great, so you finally unlocked it and put the augment into the slot you want to use. But then you unlock a new piece of gear that looks really good, so you put that on. So then you have to level up that new piece of gear again to earn enough experience to unlock the augment slot, followed by taking out the augment from your old item, which you have to pay for by the way, and then finally put it into your new piece of gear. Fuck! But at least now you've got 3% extra damage. Congratulations! I'd rather shit out a hedgehog covered in lava than go through all that again. And for some reason the third slot is permanently locked. I've tried everything and I have no idea how to unlock it. It just says coming soon. Fuck me. Most people would want cool gear for their characters. You go into the crypt and pick a chest, don't think too hard about it because they're all completely random.
Loot boxes. Do we have loot boxes in Mortal Kombat 11?
No.
Well, what do you call this? The entire crypt is basically one giant loot box, and the amount of bullshit in these chests is insane. You've got all the thousands of augments and items for single player we've already talked about, the concept art, soundtracks, recipes for something. You can unlock these profile images and backgrounds, of which there must be hundreds. Oh, and don't forget those variation icons. There's 30 different icons with 3 colour variations for a total of 90 for each of the 25 characters. That's 2,250 icons. And what do? It's that tiny little thing up there. So yeah, good luck finding that item you're looking for. What a load of horse shit. There's that much crap filling these loot boxes that even if you open every single one of them, you'll never unlock everything. You have to go to these special circle things in the wall and pay to fill up all the chests just so you can open them all again. And be careful if you're in one of those bug infested sections. These annoying spiders kill you in one hit. It is possible to kill them, but if you mistime it, you're toast. And even if you do kill these little 8-legged shits, they continuously respawn. You'll just be opening a chest and they'll sit there behind you waiting for you to close the unlock screen. You don't even get a chance to react. So you kill the one walking around to give you time to open a chest, but they just respawn behind you and sit there waiting to blow their molten diarrhea all over your face. And another thing, I was just about to record some footage and they haven't put a master volume slider in the game. It takes so long to adjust it from 0 to 100. You can't just click with a mouse where you want to set the volume. Fuck! To get the specific items you want to unlock will take an enormous amount of time, but don't worry, if you get bored of playing the game and trying to unlock things, you can just have the computer do it for you. That's right, the game designers have made it so you don't even have to play the game you've paid for. You can just set the computer to battle itself so you don't even have to play. Thank you for watching.